And the one I'm holding is pretty unique to the line. First of all, just to kind of educate people, all the Majesty guitars are neck through guitars. So in my line with Ernie Music Man, who I've been with for 20 years now, which is unbelievable. That's 2/3 of my career with Dream Theater. So of all of them, the Majesty is the only neck through version. Now this particular one I'm holding is called the Tiger Eye, and this was the only one we did as a limited edition. So there were 300 of these made, 6 and 7 string. And the thing that's unique about this guitar is it's the only one that's made of alder. So the sides of the guitar are alder. And just to explain the construction, the headstock, the neck, and the main part of the body is all one piece of mahogany.
Oh, very cool.
And so the bridge and the pickups are direct mounted into that, and that's where you get all of the meat and the sustain and all that. And then the alder will kind of shape the sound.
Okay.
The other thing that's unique about this guitar is that it's the only one that has a full maple top. So some of the other ones I'll show you either don't have a maple top at all, or the maple top only covers the shield, which is in the center. So this is the first one that we did with a full maple top.
Great.
And it's so beautiful. You can really see the figuring of the maple. They're all unique. It's carried through to the headstock. You know, it's all about the details. 3-piece neck in the back, and even up here on the back of the headstock. All of the new Majesties come with DiMarzio pickups. I've been with DiMarzio forever and ever, and we design new pickups for these guitars. This is called the Dreamcatcher. This is called the Rainmaker.
Okay.
And they sound unbelievable.
Okay, and what's the difference between both speakers? Is one a tighter wind, or what's going on in there?
Well, you know what, both pickups are meant to sort of bring out, what the guitar sort of does acoustically and the characteristics of all this wood combination. So the bridge pickup is going to give a really sort of forward, bold, aggressive, tight on the low end, sweet on the top end kind of sound. The neck pickup, the reason I call it the Rainmaker is because it makes people cry when you play solos on it. It's going to have a very sort of fluid, liquidy, clear sound. But and then of course you can combine the pickups. There's a 3-way toggle. There's a coil tap on the tone control.
Okay.
You punch that, pops out when you're in the middle position. All the Majesty guitars have a piezo system.
Yes.
Right, so this control here selects magnetic, both piezo and magnetic, or only piezo.
Okay.
And you also have controls for the EQ of that piezo and the volume on the back.
Very cool.
And another cool feature, all these guitars have a preamp built into the guitar. So if you're using a long cable, you don't have to worry about cable, tonal degradation. And we're also we're able to put a boost on the volume control. So there's an up to 20 dB boost on the volume control. And everything on the guitar is made with performance in mind. So all these controls, if you want to hit that boost, you just punch it.
Okay.
It pops up, you shut it off like that. And trust me, when you're playing and you're in the heat of battle, you don't want to be sitting there like trying to find a little switch or pulling out the control. So just having the ability to do that as you're playing is great. And
yeah, and the Majesty has it looks like it has a really comfortable contour.
It does.
So you have access all the time. You're not reaching over anything or around anything.
Right. It's incredibly, incredibly comfortable. The neck dimensions, the contour of the body, the way it kind of sits against your body, it's just so silky. The layout of all the controls, if you notice, it's on an arc. And that follows the natural arc of your hand as you're playing. So, if you're playing in the middle of a solo and you need to hit this, you're not searching for it. It's also not in your way. I tend to kind of anchor my hand here.
Yep.
So these are nice and out of your way. You need to switch to piezo, it's right there. Just stop on a dime, right there. You need to punch that, they're all in right there.
And is it the same tremolo bridge that you used on earlier models?
Yeah, so this is proprietary to Music Man guitars. We slightly changed the shape to sort of go with the Majesty, but this is an original floating trem that we developed. It has all rounded edges, rounded saddles, so it feels really comfortable on your hand. There's nothing sharp, nothing that's going to dig into your hand. And of course the piezo elements are in there as well. Okay. They all have stainless steel frets, ebony fretboard. You know, it plays like butter.
It looks nice. It looks really smart.
Yeah, and so anyway, that was a long explanation that will pretty much carry into the other ones.
Okay.
But this is the Tiger Eye Limited.
Great. You know, let me ask you one more question too, and this is about the wood selection. You know, I assume that you've been playing, obviously, various types of guitars for your whole career. What made you focus on ash, and also what made you sort of look at essentially what's an update on the idea of old center block construction? You know, because old Gibsons had essentially that. So that's kind of a historic element of this design.
Well, a couple of things. So just to clarify, this guitar is alder. So the
alder. Oh, that's why. I'm sorry, alder.
That's okay. So the wings are alder. The reason we picked that, no particular reason, just like to do something different. We had done an alder version. I guess this is the way the story goes. We had done one of my other signature models in alder, and I liked the way it sounded, and I wanted to kind of do a Majesty combination with that guitar. And so we never used alder on Majesties. They've always been either basswood or mahogany. Okay. And so this is the first time we did that. It's just a different sound. It presents a different spice than the spice rack. And this guitar has a really sort of out front sound. The sort of middle is a bit more pronounced and kind of sweeter as well. As far as the middle block thing, that's something that Ernie Ball Music Man started to do. They did like a tone block thing where even on guitars that weren't neck through. And so there'd be like a sort of a piece of mahogany that was just about this size in a basswood guitar or an alder guitar or mahogany guitar. And then all the bridge and the pickups would be mounted to that, and that kind of like gave you that solid, foundation of sound. And then whatever you covered the top with, whether it's maple or koa or whatever it is, and whatever the sides were would sort of contribute to the tonal recipe, I guess.
I guess. And I guess that gives you also just a very vibrant feeling, alive kind of neck on the guitar too.
Yeah, I think what it does is it gives the guitars a ton of character. Yeah, they just really speak, and they're all different in their own way.